But the number one challenge that we run into, that you'll run into in a new marketplace, is nobody knows you.
Welcome to AMC. I'm Dr. Greg Miller. Have you ever wondered how you can get new patients through your front door? Today, Dr. Jeremy Brubaker is going to explain the concept of the town square and how it can help you fill your practice. You won't want to miss the point about one-on-one contact. If you enjoy this video and want to see more like it, please click the like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started.
Hello, today we're here to talk about marketing to fill a new practice. It's a big topic, and I think we're going to hit some high spots for it and cover the foundational components of doing it. But it's a question we get. It's a question you have if you're opening a new practice. How am I going to get new patients through my front door? Now, there's lots of ways. What we're going to start with is the concept that we lovingly call our town square. Now, if you've ever been in a smaller community, a lot of times in the Southeast United States, and this can be true wherever you're at, you're going to find if it's a historic type town, it was built in a certain way. Now, what I mean by that, they'll typically, have the town broken into grids, but in the middle of the town will be the courthouse. And coming from that courthouse, every road in that county kind of leads to that courthouse. So that's what we kind of call the town square. Now, how does that relate with a new practice and marketing? Well, you need to think of your office like it's that courthouse. It is in the middle of that town square. And all those roads leading to your office are ways that new patients can connect with you and or come through your front door. So with that in mind, when we're looking to open and fill a new practice, the principle is it is not a one-lane street. Because think of it this way, if we have only one way for new patients to come into this office, and that way for some reason doesn't work, or it stops working, or it never does work, those new patients aren't finding you to get the help and health care that they need. So think about it that way. Now I'm going to run through some examples. This is not going to be an all-inclusive list because every community, every market is going to be a little bit different. And if you're talking about marketing in general, anybody that's been in that business or done that or been in practice will tell you that marketing is an art. It is not an exact science. However, there are marketing principles. There are communication principles. And if we follow principles, then we can keep adapting and shifting and kind of being artistic or creative in that process to make things work. Now, we'll talk about some big roads to fill up your new practice. And the number one challenge, how about that, for a new practice to put new patients in, the number one challenge for you as the owner, as the chiropractor, is that nobody knows you. And if I'm speaking to a group of students or I'm speaking to a group of doctors wanting to open a new practice, that is one of our biggest hurdles. I mean, yes, getting financing, yes, getting the building, the build out, the equipment, the x-ray installed, hiring staff, training staff, those are important. And no doubt those need to happen, and they need to happen in a systematic and an efficient way. But the number one challenge that we run into, that you'll run into in a new marketplace, is nobody knows you. And I always ask this question, because what I hear in this day and age when this is being recorded is, we're going to digitally market. And I think we should. And I know we should. And we need to have a presence. We need to have all that stuff. But let me ask you, what is your trust level, in that digital space? What is your trust level on Facebook or TikTok or whatever the latest, platform is, Twitter? What is your trust level on there? I know what mine is. It's very small. Now, some reviews will help, but still, my trust level isn't as strong as it could be. So yes, all that stuff needs to happen. But if that's your only road, in a great market, it's going to work great. Honestly, in a challenging market, in a competitive market, it's going to be a challenge like everything else. In a great market, you're going to spend a whole lot less dollars in marketing. You know, if we're talking about the digital platform, in a challenging market where people have been established and getting after that for a long time, it is going to be a bit tougher to penetrate, and it's going to cost a whole lot more. Is it an avenue? Yes. Is it the only road you should have? Absolutely not. And you know, the challenge that, again, the new graduates, maybe you coming out, is that we're very familiar with that digital platform, and that's fantastic. And if you can do it yourself, fantastic. Or you know, hire a company to do that. We've done that a bunch in the past. But what is lacking is face-to-face contact, communication. And yes, there's been some challenges over the last couple years about getting face-to-face with folks. But you're never, ever going to substitute filling up your practice with patients than a one-on-one contact. And what I mean by one-by-one contact, now that could be in so many different forms. A lot of you don't want to go out and do spinal screenings. Well, do spinal screenings still work? They still work. Are there multiple different ways to accomplish those? Sure, you can use a lot of different tools, a lot of different ways, a lot of different places, get creative. But they still work. People are still people. They have a need. They find out you can help with their need. Connection is made. Okay. So screenings is a road on our town square. If you don't want to do that, no problem. You just shut that road off. You're never ever going to get any patients coming from that road. Health talks or lunch and learns. Do those still work? They still work. We still do those consistently all over the country. They still work. Maybe that's not your cup of tea. No problem. You just, you draw a line on that road. Nobody's ever going to come from a lunch and learn or a health talk or community awareness program. Nobody's ever come to your office from that road. Let's see. So we've got talks, we've got screenings, we've got our digital platform. Just flat out getting out and meeting people. And we're going to have a video on that of what we'd call kind of contact marketing, or I'm sure there's a better name. They used to call it guerrilla marketing. And I don't think they use that term too much anymore, but it's just, we need to get present. We need to get out there. Yes, networking, BNIs or young entrepreneurs or women entrepreneurs. There's lots of different clubs. There's lots of different networking platforms out there in different communities that you should get involved with. Again, if that's not your thing, no problem. You just, put a roadblock on that, and no new patient is going to come from those networking groups. I hope you're getting the gist. And we've only talked about 3 or 4 different roads, but the concept is, how do we fill up a practice? We have 10, 15, 20 different roads and opportunities and ways for people to connect with you and get into your office. Here's one more to think about. Just getting out and meeting people, right? Politicians do it all the time. They go out, they actually knock on people's doors and introduce themselves and tell them what they stand for. They're not selling anything. They just want to have some bond and rapport with their community. Get into businesses. We do the same thing. That's a big part of our process, is how do we get you known? How do we get people to understand you exist? You have a purpose. We have a mission. We have a process of doing that, and doing that exceedingly well. So you become known in that community as quickly as possible. If you don't want to do that, if that's uncomfortable, well, again, the same thing rings true. You put a road over that road coming into your practice, and nobody is ever going to come into the practice through that road. So if you get anything from this, as you're looking to fill up a new practice with new patients, is number one, every market's going to be different. There's going to be an art to the marketing process. Number 3, there's going to be, opportunities, how about that, for you to be creative. When there doesn't seem to be anything happening, then we need to make something happening. We've created events in markets, right? We've created ladies' night events. We've created kind of your kids' day events. We've contacted schools. There are so many different ways and roads we can put in your marketing plan, if you will, especially opening a new practice, and you'll never have any more time. Hear this, you'll never have any more time to reach out to your community than you will as you're opening your practice. Because once you start seeing patients and the practice grows, what tends to happen is, and I think it's a mistake, actually I know it's a mistake, we tend to just stay inside the four walls of our practice and we stop connecting with the community. But those doctors and those practices that keep on growing and growing and growing, they keep connected. They keep those same principles in place in their marketplace, and they don't have to, right? Especially if they've grown a self-sustaining referral-based practice, which again is a different topic for a different day. But you marriage those two, a great town square and a great referral-based practice, and now we have a practice that explodes from day one. We're very successful, it's low stress, self-sustaining, it's fun, and it's very profitable. So hopefully that's helpful to give you some parameters on how do we fill up a new practice? Well, it's gonna take work, number one. If we sit there and expect somebody else just to market for us online, sometimes that can work. But if that's the only road I have to the office, it's gonna be super expensive. And when it doesn't work, we're going to be struggling. We're going to be stressed. And it is not gonna be a fun process just to have one avenue for people to engage with you. So you can come in, so they can come in and you can help them get healthy and stay healthy. Hopefully that's helpful. Take and run with that. We're going to be continuing to expand on topics like this as we go around, because we just know over the decades of opening over 2,000 practices, what works, what doesn't work, and how we need to be creative in each individual marketplace to fill it up and give you the practice that you're looking for. Hope this is helpful. Take and use it and be blessed.
Join us at our next training weekend, October 20th to the 22nd. If you're new to AMC and would like a free guest pass to 3 days of material just like this, text us at 904-966-4996. AMC is your guide to becoming respected, effective, and valued in practice.